Behind me, you see a graph of the phases of a clinical trial. In phase 1 clinical trial, this involves healthy human beings with no diseases. They're usually males to prevent future possible birth defects. This involves mandatory informed consent. And the purpose of this is to safely establish a dosage range, evaluate any potential side effects, establish a final and correct dose. As these testings are going on, the pharmacodynamics of that chemical, gender effects are started. They'll start to bring in some females as the chemistry is shown to be safer and safer. And this usually lasts about a year to a year and a half. If the chemical is safe, then the testing moves on to phase 2. And in phase 2, it's a larger amount of folks, generally between 50 and 500 patients. And these patients do have the disease or the condition that the drug or chemical is intended to either resolve or decrease. So the drug is given on an experimental basis. These trials determine whether the medication is therapeutic or not. This usually takes about 2 years. And if the safety has been guaranteed, if the safety has been established, and there is a therapeutic response, then phase 3 can be started. This involves several hundred or even several thousand patients with the illness. And it is administered in the same way that it will be used on the market. In other words, if they've now established that this is a medication that is best and safest to be given orally, clinical phase 3 will have those medications done only orally. If there's another study that shows perhaps a different route, will have a different efficacy and a different therapeutic response, then they're going to have to do all new testing on the route that that medication is going to be given. The medication is then directly compared with other medications on their performance to see if it is either better or at least equal to other medications currently on the market. They do this through double-blind studies with a placebo. These trials, by the way, usually last about 3 years. If there is an indication for pediatric use, they will start to recruit children with a disease and start testing on the children. What they do is they use what's called standardized pediatric doses, and these doses never vary. They want to see the response on the different height and weight and body surface area of these children. The patents for these medications last about 17 years, and under certain circumstances, that can be extended if there's for things like pediatric testing, etc. At this time, the manufacturing company submits all of their documentation to the Food and Drug Administration, and then they're going to wait for the final FDA decision. This generally takes about 12 years on average, and it is either approved or it is denied. Once approved by the FDA, the ingredients, dosage, manufacturing process, labeling, and packaging cannot change. If they have the same medication, but it's going to be given in a different route, the testing needs to be started all over again. What might happen during these trials is it may be discovered that the chemical is good for other uses as well. During this clinical trial, those other uses will be explored. A good example are the medications like propranolol, a beta blocker, which is originally used for faster than normal heart rates. Now it can be used for high blood pressure, for migraine headaches, for chest pain, for myocardial infarctions, for a tremor of unknown origins, and even for a condition called pheochromocytoma.